Hello, you're watching QPVN News. I'm Anh Tuấn and we keep you up to date with the headlines. Vietnam inaugurates 18 major projects nationwide. Vietnamese and Chinese naval forces strengthen experience exchange. Vietnam to develop specialty coffee to reach global markets. On April the 19th, at the central venue of Terminal T3, Tân Sơn Nhất International Airport, Ho Chi Minh City, Prime Minister Phạm Minh Chính presided over the simultaneous groundbreaking and inauguration ceremony for key national and major projects across the north, central, and south regions of the country. The event marks the 50th anniversary of the liberation of the South and national reunification. Attending the ceremony at the central location were Nguyễn Văn Nên, Secretary of the Ho Chi Minh City Party Committee, General Nguyễn Tân Cương, Chief of the General Staff of the Vietnam People's Army and Deputy Defense Minister, and Lieutenant General Nguyễn Văn Long, Deputy Minister of Public Security. The 80 projects span key sectors such as transport, agriculture, healthcare, education, housing, urban development, and industrial infrastructure, with the total investment exceeding $17 billion. In Ho Chi Minh City, 6 projects were launched or completed. Notably, T3 passenger terminal at Tân Sơn Nhất Airport was finished 2 months ahead of schedule and began operations in time for the national celebration. With an investment of nearly $440 million, the terminal features modern technology and facilities serving up to 20 million passengers annually. This large-scale initiative highlights Vietnam's development achievements over the past 50 years and reflects the strong commitment of central and local authorities. It also fosters a spirit of progress and productivity ahead of the national anniversary. In his remarks, Prime Minister Phạm Minh Chính urged localities to ensure efficient, long-term use of completed projects and to prioritize resources, coordination and speed in executing new ones, ensuring quality, design integrity and timely delivery. On April the 19th, Prime Minister Phạm Minh Chính visited and encouraged military, police and militia forces preparing for the Grand Parade commemorating the 50th anniversary of the liberation of the South Liberation and National Reunification Day. Secretary of Ho Chi Minh City's Party Committee Nguyễn Văn Nên, General Phan Văn Giang, Minister of National Defense, General Nguyễn Tân Cương, Deputy Chief of the General Staff of the Vietnam People's Army and Deputy Defense Minister, and Lieutenant General Nguyễn Ngọc Lâm, Deputy Minister of Public Security, also joined the event. Encouraging the forces, Prime Minister Phạm Minh Chính expressed his confidence that the parade forces will excellently fulfill their mission on this momentous national occasion, demonstrating patriotism and profound gratitude to the previous generations. He commended the Central Military Commission and the Ministry of National Defense for their close leadership and direction of the parade. On the morning of April the 19th, Senior Lieutenant General Nguyễn Văn Nghĩa, Deputy Chief of the General Staff of the Vietnam People's Army, chaired a meeting to review and conclude tasks in the coming days with agencies and units after the first grand joint rehearsal in Ho Chi Minh City on April the 18th on Lê Duẩn Street, District 1. Lieutenant General Trương Thiên Tô, Vice Chairman of the General Political Department, attended the meeting. At the meeting, the agencies and units summarized and reported on the arising issues during performing the tasks after the first training session, praising the participating forces for upholding responsibility and solidarity. Senior Lieutenant General Nguyễn Văn Nghĩa requested the agencies and units to closely perform commanding and management work with smooth, synchronous and effective operation. Moving on to other noticeable news, on April the 19th in Đồng Nai Province, General Phan Van Giang, Minister of National Defense, visited and inspected the construction of Long Thanh International Airport. At the Long Thanh Airport construction site, units have mobilized hundreds of construction teams with nearly 10,000 experts, engineers, workers, laborers, and almost 3,000 pieces of equipment to speed up construction progress according to the Prime Minister's requirements. So far, the total value of completed volume has reached 43%. Military units are executing the most difficult and arduous bid packages with great determination. General Phan Van Giang praised the efforts of the team of officers, engineers and workers at the construction site, while requesting relevant units to continue to overcome difficulties, promote the qualities of Angkor soldiers, and ensure the progress and quality of the project. After organizing exchange activities at the Guangxi-Zhuang Autonomous Region of China on April the 17th, the 9th Vietnam-China Border Defense Friendship Exchange successfully wrapped up in Lạng Sơn Province. On the morning of April the 17th at Hữu Nghị International Border Gate, Lạng Sơn Province, General Phan Van Giang, Minister of National Defense of Vietnam, chaired the official welcome ceremony for Senior Lieutenant General Dong Jun, Minister of National Defense of China, and a high-ranking delegation of the Chinese Ministry of National Defense to attend exchange activities in Vietnam. Then the two ministers planted a friendship tree and toured the garden planted by young soldiers of the two countries. Visiting Dong Dang Primary School, General Phan Van Giang and Senior Lieutenant General Dong Jun entrusted the young generation to preserve and foster solidarity and the traditional friendship between the two neighboring countries. The two ministers also visited Hữu Nghị International Border Gates Border Station under Lạng Sơn Provincial Border Guard Command. In recent times, the unit has actively coordinated with Pingshan Meeting and Liaison Station under the Border Defense Force of Guangxi-Zhuang Autonomous Region, China, in border and border markers management and protection, implementation of border management solutions, and smart border gates construction under the direction of the governments of Vietnam and China. Visiting the logistic park of the VIETNAMESE Military Industry Telecoms Group, the two generals applauded the modern technology platform and smart border gate model. At the talks between the two ministers within the framework of the exchange, Minister Phan Van Giang affirmed that pre-exchange activities such as medical checkups and medicine distribution to help people in border areas, delegation exchanges, young officers exchange contributed to realizing the Vietnam-China Humanistic Exchange Year. Minister Phan Van Giang extended an invitation to his Chinese counterpart to attend the celebration marking the 50th anniversary of the liberation of the South and National Reunification Day on April the 30th, 2025. He also invited the Chinese Ministry of National Defense to send a military contingent to participate in the parade during the commemorative ceremony. Following the talks, the two ministers witnessed the signing of a framework agreement establishing a sister unit relationship between Hữu Nghị International Border Gates Border Post, Lạng Sơn Border Guard, and Pingshan Meeting and Liaison Station, Border Defense Force of Guangxi-Zhuang Autonomous Region, China. On the morning of April the 19th, ships 015 Trần Hưng Đạo and 016 Quang Trung arrived at Cam Ranh Military Port, successfully wrapping up the activities within the framework of the 9th Vietnam-China Border Defense Friendship Exchange and the 30th Joint Patrol in the Gulf of Tonkin with the Chinese Navy. During the joint patrol in the Gulf of Tonkin, the navies of the two countries regularly exchange information through conventional signals, light information, and coordinated practice in many situations at sea. Thanks to thorough preparation, the joint training on search and rescue in windy and foggy conditions was implemented safely.
Quá trình tập trung
The joint training helps the naval forces of both countries to improve coordination, information exchange, unification of search and rescue plans, commanding capacity, mobilization of forces and equipment. Thanks to such, we can promptly rescue, save people's lives and property in needed cases. Previously, in Beihai City, Guangxi Province, China, officers and sailors of the two navies participated in sports exchanges and sightseeing tours, creating a friendly atmosphere.
Chất lượng huấn luyện về đối ngoại.
The quality of foreign affairs training has been elevated to a new level. The officers and soldiers basically have foreign language proficiency, understand international law, especially international maritime law. They also grasp the cultural and social conditions of the host country, while having the ability to coordinate to perform the task of each country, as well as the common task of the two countries, especially the task in international waters. At 8 a.m. on the morning of April the 19th, ships 015 Trần Hưng Đạo and 016 Quang Trung safely arrived at Cam Ranh military port, successfully wrapping up the exchange and joint patrol activities in the Gulf of Tonkin. Coming up next, many activities organized in response to Vietnam Book and Reading Culture Day. Vietnam to develop specialty coffee to reach global markets. In response to the 4th Vietnam Book and Reading Culture Day, in celebration of the 8th founding anniversary of Hanoi Book Street, Hoàn Kiếm District People's Committee organized a series of events from April the 18th to April the 20th on Hanoi Book Street. Themed books expand the world of thinking. In addition to introducing diverse book genres, publishing and distribution units also focus on serving books that combine technology and innovations such as ebooks, audiobooks, movie books, moving books, or interactive books. The highlights of the event is the seminars, cultural exchanges, and book introductions with prestigious speakers and experts. Additionally, the event also features a drawing contest named My Beloved Book and a book donation campaign for the community bookshelves. The program is open to the public free of charge from 8 a.m. to 9 p.m. daily. Vietnamese coffee has long established its position in the international market, ranking second in the world in terms of export volume. However, most of the products are still exported raw, without fully tapping into their value-added potential. In the context of a global shift towards specialty coffee, the authorities, businesses, and people of Đắk Lắk are trying to build a brand that prioritizes quality, flavor, and production processes. Located about 10 kilometers from the center of Buôn Ma Thuột city and covering nearly 9 hectares, Araco Coffee Farm aims to build a multi-layered ecosystem. Here, coffee trees are naturally cultivated, resulting in uniquely high-quality beans with a distinctive and delicious flavor. The farm's specialty and high-quality coffee products have already entered markets in Europe, Japan, the United States, Canada, and China. Coffee in Ho Chi Minh City tastes stronger than those in Đắk Lắk. It's my first time seeing the full coffee making process. Even though it's complex, it makes me like coffee even more. In Đắk Lắk, after 7 years of effort, the value of specialty coffee products is being enhanced, marking a new direction for the coffee industry in elevating the brand value of Robusta coffee, bearing the Buôn Ma Thuột geographical indication. We want to continue to promote the spirit of developing Vietnam's specialty coffee culture, helping consumers better recognize coffee quality and encouraging consumption, and that matches its true value. By honoring creativity and spreading the spirit of Vietnamese coffee innovation, we are increasingly enhancing the reputation of Vietnamese coffee on the global stage. This is part of the effort to realize the goal of making Buôn Ma Thuột a global coffee destination. Vietnam's specialty coffee is on the rise. However, in order to reach the global level, a comprehensive strategy is required, from developing raw material regions, improving roasting techniques, sector brand promotion and market expansion. With the engagement of authorities, businesses and farmers, Vietnam's specialty coffee industry in general and Buôn Ma Thuột coffee in particular can fully assert its position on the world coffee map. This is the end of the QPVN News today. Remember to watch our news again at qpvn.vn. Thank you for watching and goodbye for now.